evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is yours truly, Jake Flame, with another video. And yes, I know it's a bit of a shock. You're probably sitting there or standing or walking, depending on what it is exactly you're using to watch this video. And you're probably asking, what the... Normally you don't make videos with this small of a gap in between. Usually you've got videos that have like a very large number of months stacked in between before actually uploading stuff. Is it the end of the world or something? But no, to answer that question is no. See, after the first video I made with the story time with Jake Flame, I decided that if I'm going to make this whole being a YouTuber thing work, I need to update my videos a bit more regularly. So I will do my very best to upload my videos when I can, especially if they're the story time videos. I will do my best to make sure I have a stockpile of books to read to all of you, should you remain interested in this series. So, as you know, it is that time again, obviously, to read another amazing story. We are going to continue reading the next chapters of Daniel X Lights Out from James Patterson and Chris Grabenstein. Or Grabenstein. To be fair, I still have not looked up how that name is pronounced, so it could be anybody's guess, to be honest. Before we start the book, from where we left off, make sure to hit the like button. If you've got any comments you want to give me about my videos, make sure you type those down in the comments below. And for those of you who just stumbled onto my channel by mere chance, if you're interested, make sure you hit that notification button and click that bell icon so that you stay notified of all the videos I upload. And without further ado, let us begin this story. Now, where we last left off, we were just finished up with the prologue chapters. So now we're going to get into the first chapter of this book. Let us begin. The next page, Part 1, Getting to Number 1. Chapter 1. When I finally woke up, I was in a strange and sterile place. A hospital. More specifically, a hospital bed. I creaked open my aching eyes, yes, even my eyelids hurt, and saw an IV pole with drip bags hanging off it. Some kind of pump with a glowing LED readout was clamped to its side. Behind the pole on a rolling cart, a blipping screen charted the rhythm of my heartbeat. Beep, 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 beep. My bed had guardrails and buttons for moving the mattress up and down, just like in those Craftmatic adjustable bed commercials I've seen on late TV at night when I'm checking out the Sci-Fi Channel to see if they've gotten things right. "Well, look who's awake," said a soft voice above me. I craned my head to the right and saw a nurse dressed in scrubs with a stethoscope draped around her neck. I tried to activate my zoom vision to read the name tag pinned to her chest. Usually my eyes can do a 128 by 1 telephoto push. But all I got for my efforts was a dull throbbing headache and some blurred double vision. "I'm Nurse O'Hara," she said with a smile. It's so good to see your beautiful eyes, Daniel. Where am I? The hospital. Intensive care. I tried to sit up. Oh, now, said Nurse O'Hara as she gently eased me back down into bed. You mustn't push yourself, Danny boy. What? I said you mustn't push yourself. No, what did you call me? Danny boy. I remember hearing number 1 calling me Danny boy in my head, right after that Mack truck plowed over me with 9 of its 18 wheels. Nurse O'Hara smiled broadened. Forgive me, Daniel. I'm very Irish. She bent down and gave me a sweet hug. Saints be praised, you're alive. 3 doctors. Well, 3 people in white lab coats with their names embroidered over the breast pockets stepped into the room. Good morning, Daniel. We've heard the good news, said one who looked like Dr. Sanjay Gupta, the chief medical correspondent on CNN. Only this Dr. Gupta had an even brighter, wider smile. It's a miracle, said Nurse O'Hara, wiping a tear from her rosy cheek. Indeed, said another one of the doctors, who looked like an extremely happy cousin of that other TV doctor, Dr. Oz. Definitely, added the third doctor with a toothy smile. She reminded me of the lady on Grey's Anatomy. Oh boy. Okay, I watch a lot of doctor shows on TV. Human anatomy fascinates me. You guys have screwy plumbing. Besides, my alien brain operates like an iPod with unlimited free downloads. But right then, I didn't have time for smiley doctors. I needed to drag my butt out of bed and go hunt down number 1. Thanks for the hospitality, guys, I said, but I need to hit the road. I went to tug the IV needle out of my arm. 4 pairs of hands restrained me. No, Daniel, said the Dr. Oz lookalike. You need to rest. I can't. I have a job to do. Your only job, young man, said Nurse O'Hara, is to get better. You were in a horrible accident. I laughed a little. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. This is no laughing matter, Daniel, said the female doctor. You've been in a very deep coma. Okay, Miss Grey's Anatomy had my attention there. A coma? For how long? She glanced at the one I called Dr. Oz. He nodded his head, giving her permission to tell me the awful truth. Over a year, Daniel. You have been unconscious for 13 months. Dun, dun, dun. That part wasn't in the book, but, you know, a bit of a dramatic scene. Chapter 2. 13 months? I blurted. That's impossible. The doctors shook their heads. We spent a lot of time together, Danny boy, said Nurse O'Hara. I strung twinkling lights in the window and hung ornaments off your IV pole, hoping the visual stimulation might... No, I said, sitting up in my bed. This is crazy. I saw Dr. Oz bury his hand into the hip pocket of his lab coat and fiddle with something. None of the doctors were smiling anymore. Look, I appreciate everything you've done for me, but if I've been stuck in here for 13 months because of that little fender bender out on the highway, that means I'm way behind schedule. Okay, I was starting to panic. Supercharged adrenaline was pumping through my veins. The steady beep, beep, beep on the heart monitor picked up its pace. If I had been out of operation for over a year, That meant number one and all the other alien outlaws roaming around terra firma had basically been enjoying a free ride, with no alien hunter to slow them down. I couldn't even imagine what kind of dirty deeds my nemesis had been up to in my absence, and as you know, I have a very vivid imagination. I decided I didn't have a choice. I needed to get out of this hospital as quickly as I could and resume my duties as the planet's protector. So I did what had to be done. I had to confess who I really was, what I could really do. Okay, I said, this is going to sound extremely strange. You might even think I'm a little insane, but hear me out. Every medical professional in the room was staring at me like I was nuts. I'm an alien. Okay, now they were staring at me like I was a loonier than a tune. Excuse me? Said Dr. Ross. I came to Earth from Alpernock. And where or what is that? It's a planet in a galaxy far, far away. Like in Star Wars? Exactly. Good, they understood. I came here to protect your planet from other evil aliens and, well, not to brag, I have incredible powers. Like Superman, said Dr. Gupta. I believe he came to Earth from a distant planet as well. True, but Superman's just a comic book, Doc. I can actually do things. Dr. Gupta arched an eyebrow. Really? And what exactly can you do, Daniel? Lots of stuff. Okay, your stethoscope, I can turn it into anything you want. Really? Yeah, I can rearrange matter at the atomic level. Well, Danny boy, I'd like a diamond necklace, said Nurse O'Hara, tapping her stethoscope. Her smile had slipped into a sarcastic grin. From Tiffany's. Fine. Hey, if I had to perform a few quick parlor tricks to earn my ticket out of this place, I was game. I concentrated on the shiny knob at the end of the Nurse O'Hara's stethoscope. I figured I'd turn it into the Hope Diamond. That's a 45.52 carat deep blue gemstone, housed in the Smithsonian. Some say it's worth $250 million. A little over the top? Sure. But I needed to prove my point fast. I focused hard. I even squinted. But nothing happened. Nurse O'Hara tisked her tongue. Fine. If these people wouldn't let me out of the hospital, I'd teleport myself out of the palace. I'd zoom off to London, maybe Paris or Tokyo. Only that didn't work either. Dr. Oz took a step toward the bed. Daniel, I shot up my hand and stretched out my fingers. Don't come any closer, sir. I've just put up a pulsating electromagnetic force field. Is that so? He took another step. Nothing happened. I was definitely starting to freak now. Something was seriously wrong. Had all my powers seeped away while I was out for the coma count? Wait, I sputtered. I've been lying in this bed too long. My powers have atrophied. Weakened. But they'll come back. You'll see tomorrow. Maybe the next day. I'm not really sure because I've never experienced a total power drain before. Usually there's a residual. Two burly orderlies the size of linebackers barged into the room. Dr. Oz nodded toward my bed. Young Daniel here needs his rest. Remember how the doctor had reached into his pocket? I'm guessing that's when he summoned the security goons. No, wait! I said to the two no-neck bodybuilders. I'm warning you! Big men lunged toward my bed. I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt the muscle-bound bedpan boys. But when I'm attacked, I instantly fight back. But I couldn't budge. Two men pinned me down. Dr. Oz jabbed a hypodermic into my thigh. I yelled out once. Then I swirled down a rabbit hole of darkness. Chapter 3. Sometime later, I just hope it wasn't another 13 months. I was able to open my eyes again. It was my turn to smile. Much to my relief, my homebuds from the planet Alpernock, Willie, Joe, Dana, and Emma, were standing in my hospital room. They were my best friends since forever. "You guys," I whispered, "this is awesome. Thanks for coming." Apparently, my subconscious had summoned my 4 friends during my deep, drug-induced sleep, because in my current predicament, being alone wasn't the best move. Oh, one thing you need to know. When I say I summoned my friends, I don't mean like a rich guy summons his butler by ringing a dainty little dinner bell. I mean that I conjured them up. Joe, Willie, Dana, and Emma are now 100% purely products of my imagination. Hang on. That doesn't mean I spend my time talking to people who aren't there. When they're around, everybody can see them, hear them, and, in Joe's case, smell them. What can I say? The guy loves chili dogs with cheese and chopped onions. The real Joe, Willie, Emma, and Dana are all dead. Which meant I would have been flying solo in your world if it weren't for my incredible ability to manipulate atomic nothingness and turn it into the best friends a guy ever had. Seeing the 4 of them huddled around my bed in the hospital room made me feel totally pumped. For one thing, I knew I'd have backup when I took on number 1. For another, if my friends had materialized for me, that meant my creative juices were flowing again. "You guys," I said, "you have no idea how good it is to see you." "Same here," said Joe. "Now that you're awake, maybe we'll bring you some real food instead of dripping beige gunk down your nose through a tube. I could really go for a gallon or 2 of chocolate milk. And how's the pizza in this place?" I grinned. My friend Joe, his stomach is a bottomless pit. "It's a hospital, Joe," said Dana, who, just to bring you up to speed, is my dream girl and soulmate. More about that later. Trust me, it gets complicated. "They only serve Jell-O and cottage cheese." "Why?" said Joe. "Don't they want anybody to get better?" You guys," I said, "can we talk about food later? I've got work to do. You need to help find my laptop. The list." I hadn't seen my backpack with the alien supercomputer since my accident. It had critical info on all the alien outlaws on Earth, including the Prayer. I couldn't hunt him without it. "I know," said Emma, the gentle Earth mother of my gang. "The school's been keeping a list for you, and it doesn't look pretty. A whole year's worth of homework." Ugh, she shuddered in fear. "And math," said Willie, the group's natural-born leader. "It got ugly this year, Daniel. It turned into calculus." I was confused again. "Willie, what are you talking about? I need to take care of number 1. "Okay, where's your bedpan?" asked Joe. "Great, you guys," said Dana, rolling her eyes. "I so want to witness Daniel's bodily functions at work." "Don't worry about the homework," said Emma. "You'll catch up, Daniel. You've always been the smartest kid in class." "Except riding your motorcycle in the rain," said Joe. "I'm sorry, I don't mean to bust your chops, buddy, but that was just dumb." I shook my head, tried to clear out the cobwebs left over from whatever drug Dr. Oz had needled into me. I noticed a bunch of get-well-soon balloons tied with ribbons to the foot of my bed. "All right, kids," said Nurse O'Hara as she marched into the room. "We don't want to wear Daniel out. He's had a rough night." "Aww," moaned Willie. "We just got here." "Yeah," said Emma, "and Daniel just woke up." "Ouch," the lot of you, said Nurse O'Hara. I noticed she was smiling again. Don't you kids have homework to do? Yeah, grasped Joe. High school's a beast. High school, I said. Willie? I motioned for him to move closer to Nurse, so Nurse O'Hara wouldn't hear what I said next. I don't go to high school. Well, duh. I breathed a sigh of relief. I wasn't going nuts. You've been in a coma, Willie went on. But now that you're awake, your butt'll be back in homeroom before you know it. And so end chapters 1 through 3. My opinion of the first couple of chapters of this book are just wow. I would definitely not want to be in Daniel's position. Losing what powers he had and having people think he's crazy. Not to mention his friends who are supposedly dead thinking he goes to school. Kind of a crazy twist these 3 chapters put us through, huh? But unfortunately, we have to stop that there. I know y'all would probably want me to continue, but I can't just read the whole book in just one video. Now, what would be the fun in doing that? I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, leave a like and make sure to add a comment if you want down below. And hit that subscribe button. I thank you for tuning in. And this is Jake Flame signing off and wishing you all a very pleasant evening.